So, hello everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome back for another Gassing On. And I've come down to Charmouth, down in Dorset. And well, height of the holiday season here, but very nice, got lovely weather as well today. And I'm meeting with Joshua Doran from Oracle Environmental Experts. And we're going to have a look at some marine issues and pollution relating to plastics. And well, it's big news in the big topic in the news, all these microplastics, but I'm going to get a better insight today, so looking forward to meeting up with Josh. He's advised me my PPE today will be sunglasses, and as opposed to a hard hat, it's going to be a stylish sun hat today, and I'll show you my footwear later on, but see you all in a bit. So we've found Josh. Morning, Josh.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. I brought the weather.
Wow, well look at where we are. What is this location? Where are we?
So Charmouth, down on the Jurassic coast along the south. So we've got views of the Solent and not the Solent, well
yeah,
and,
the Solent.
beyond.
You can see the Isle of Wight, but not today. It's a bit
Yeah,
misty.
no, it's a bit hazy out there.
A bit hazy, yeah. So Josh, we were just having a nice chat, kind of prepping up for today, but well, just really a bit about yourself, mate, to get the ball rolling. Who are you? Where'd you come from? What do you do?
So Josh from Oracle Environmental, senior environmental consultant, and yeah, basically, so Oracle Environmental, we deal with land contamination and pollution events, so domestic heating, oil spills, slurry spills, things like that. So I sort of got into this, well, I started off university doing marine biology.
Okay.
So that was kind of,
you're home at the ocean.
Exactly, well, that's it. Lived on the coast down in Portsmouth, always out in sea, scuba diving, surfing, things like that. So I always knew I wanted to do that. Post uni, sort of got into this sort of realm of contaminated land and things, and then sort of started progressing towards plastics and going back to the ocean, which is great.
Yeah, well, I've done work with yourselves, with John predominantly.
Yes.
We've done a lot of remedial works on oil spills in domestic dwellings. So I'm really fascinated to hear about the contaminants, the plastic sort of washed up on the sea, in the ocean, or on the beach. We're going for a beach walk in a bit.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I've adhered to your health and safety risk assessment that you sent me. You said about the hat. Happy with the hat?
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah,
Happy with the glasses?
Yeah, we're good. And most importantly, you got the steel toe Greg's Crocs on as well.
Yeah, 99p from Primark they were. So, well, we're going to go for a wander. So let's head on out to the beach.
Yeah, brilliant. That's right.
I've had a few people ask me about the routes that we've taken, so I thought this week I'd just pop up a little map of where we went. So we met down in the car park in Charmouth, and then crossed the small bridge. You can see the River Char there. And where we're going to go to next is actually where a lot of the debris was either washed down the river or it's been on tidal flows coming back in. So just sort of pop that up. And also the orange line there is the route that we took down the beach. So I'm just having a beach walk here and look at some of the, well, we've got a multitude of rubbish that's just picking up on the way through. So no, it's definitely, and now we've got the tide going out as well. We can really pick up all the bits and pieces that are being washed up on this fresh intake of pollution. So this was our first real look for pollution and contaminants, and it didn't take too long to look in this area here. This was actually at the bottom of the river, or where the river estuary meets the sea, and we can see these little nodules. They're little, you can see the blue, and Josh is just indicating them there. And it didn't take too long. Once you got your eye in, you saw hundreds of them. More than hundreds, thousands of them. So we just spent 10-15 minutes looking through this area here, and it was just never ending wherever you looked. So and you can see the beach is quite busy there. People populated the beach. We also had a little bit on the walk. We found some more kind of solid items as well. So this was a container that poultry must have been used for at one time. So picking up big items like that, still problematic, and we took that away with us. One other little element that came up during the visit, and we discussed this, was a post that came in from our good friend Barry Ackroyd a couple of weeks ago, where he was talking about a river at the back of his property where he lives down in Essex, Suffolk border. And this is blatant pollution, well, vandalism. And like he mentions there, not just the products that are being thrown in the river, the plastics, but it's the byproducts within them, which in this instance was bleach. So it's really concerning. So let's get back to our walk.
Josh, just picking up those bits there, obviously we could be here for hours and hours. What initiatives, you talked about NGOs helping local volunteers and charities, but also, what other incentives are out there to, there's a lot of people here. Couldn't we get them all to pick up 10 pieces each or something?
No, well, that'd be fantastic. And so one example of that, which is out there, and people, again, probably wouldn't know because you just kind of walk past these things. It's 2-minute beach clean.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they're these little prop-up signs with a litter picker and some bags and a little bit of info on plastics.
Yeah.
And all they say is 2 minutes. That's all it needs.
Yeah.
So we think if everyone on this beach spent 2 minutes to just clean up some plastics, we could probably clean this beach, within 2 minutes between everyone. And so there's NGOs. Again, if you're on the coastline near the beach, there will be some sort of charity group that organises these beach cleans with everyone. Marine Conservation Society, Surfers Against Sewage. There's all of these events, especially this time of year. So there's lots going on. Which is fantastic.
I'm going to get my son, next time we go to the beach, I'm going to challenge him to pick up as many bits he can find. That's and what are you going to do with them? Just use them as examples back at your office of what today's brought to you?
The tubs and boxes that I have of all these nodules from different beaches across the coastlines. It's ridiculous. But well, to be fair, what we were doing for some of them, we've actually been sending off to a lab.
Oh, right,
So we've collected so much. There are things out there like you can actually donate some of them to some charities and things like that. But so we've been sending them off to labs just out of curiosity, really, to see what contaminants could these hold. So plastic is fantastic at absorbing chemicals and harmful substances. But then the question is obviously when that re-releases into the environment, what issues could that have? So a lot of the pellets that we've been collecting, sent off to labs, and we were finding concentrations of DDT.
Oh no! That just Roundup. That was the horrible chemical.
No, was that
Roundup? That's got that product in it.
So it's a pesticide that was banned almost like 25 years ago. We're finding pellets on our beaches which have still got that contamination in.
Wow.
So the question is, where these large concentrations are collecting, is it being re-released and digested by birds and other animals, or even ourselves as well?
Not good for the world, is it really? So
of course. But I also think about it. Coke cans. Well, Coke comes in a plastic bottle or a can. So don't get me wrong. There's still sort of plastics and things in those cans, but the best we can is try and move away from plastic. And it is little sacrifices, like anything. Little sacrifices go a long way if we do it collectively.
I'm trying to reuse a water bottle now. I do that. I've got one. So material manufacturers, your plastics is. Do you think material manufacturers and product end users have got responsibilities to it earlier in the line? Should they be auditing and checking where it's coming and how it's transferred?
Well, I think we're looking at for brilliant reasons. We're looking at a shift between towards sustainable practices, and we look at our carbon outputs, and we look at our whole supply chain. Okay, who are our manufacturers? Are they doing the right things? And so, it's only the exact same point is if you're importing or you're buying plastic, if you had a look to make sure that company is doing the best that they can. So there are initiatives out there. Maybe a coffee can.
Oh right.
And stuff. So there's voluntary.
Even wrappers. Those wrappers with the foil in it. Like, how long would that take to break down, and what would it leave in the atmosphere, in the environment for us?
So ultimately, with regard to breaking down, they will just break down to microplastics, so small fragments. Beyond those, it will then break down back to almost its polymer types. Obviously, plastic is oil. It's
hydrocarbons.
Exactly. So I think it was looking at since 1950s when we sort of first started really mass producing plastics, up to about 2019, we've produced 4.5 billion tons of plastic.
Wow.
Which probably is all still in around today. It's not going to go away. When we talk about things being biodegradable, it's actually what's the true biodegradability of that? Is it just the fact that it breaks down into millions and billions of bits of microplastics? It's probably not a good thing.
We've created a beast, haven't we, with plastic?
We really have. I think the struggle is that we need to pick our battles. So we're always going to need plastic. You know, the advances in medication and people's diabetes and things like that. We're always going to need it, especially with food waste.
Yeah.
You know, you look at. I remember just hearing someone on a podcast once saying that if a cucumber without any wrapping on will only last sort of 2-3 days or something like that. Put plastic wrapping around it, it can last up to 14 days. Yeah. So we're reducing our food waste, which is brilliant, but then we're increasing our plastic. So it is a real struggle, kind of where we can say, okay, we don't need to buy that plastic bottle. Actually, I've got however many bottles at home from all the events and conferences we've been to, and
I look in my recycling bin. I think that bottle could have done another turn. Where it's, you know, so especially when my son brings them home from school after he buys a bottle at the local newsagent. Josh, we've had a nice long stroll along the beach. Got a bit quieter down here.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, I'm just going to tilt us around so let's have a nice backdrop with the sea in it. Yeah, look at that. Again, tourist season down here today, causing a big impact as well.
Well,
look what we found. Wrappers, found a bit of wire as well. So
yeah, wire, insole from a shoe. And normally it's flip flops and all those bits and bobs. So you look at the seaside souvenir shops and they're all plastic spades, buckets.
Even in net wrappings, they put everything in, don't they?
Yeah, the packaging alone, and then you've got all the crabbing wires. It's really tricky.
Yeah, well, it's been fascinating. Like, we've had a little stroll down here and getting some insight, you know, about spill response. I always pop up my guest details, so I'll stick up Oracle's information.
Nice one.
And guys, when you're next down the beach, certainly have a look and see, because I'm just shocked really by how much we've found. Just not really looking too hard either, you know. So, you know, take that 2 minutes that Josh mentioned and have a little clean up. That'd be brilliant. So. Just really to close off on our chat today, Josh, where's the future going to go? Is it going to get can we make it better, or is it going to get worse, do you think?
I think you've got to be optimistic, like anything, haven't you? And there's a lot going on in the world, and so you've got to pick your battles with what you choose to buy and things like that. But yeah, look, we're the consumer. We have power, ultimately. So if we are choosing options which don't have plastics in. You know, there's so many fantastic little businesses, local businesses, which are refill shops. You bring your glass jars, you know, and you fill up your chickpeas or your rice and things like that. Sometimes you find it's a lot cheaper as well buying it. So again, as a consumer, we have power from that side. We've got the ability to go onto our beaches, be the change we want to see. Go and start, you know, picking up litter as you see it. And you know, again, there's that. We've got the ability to write to our MPs. From that lower level, we can put it out there saying, look, we're finding loads of pollution on our beaches, or I've gone into my local shop and it's just all plastic. What can we do to help? Again, we've got the power from that side. Globally, there's a lot going on with global plastics treaty, which is moving, slow momentum, but it's getting there. So with the whole point of looking at the entire lifetime cycle of plastics, from those pellets that we saw, those nodules, all the way to the end product. So what do we do with waste and plastic? Do we recycle for circular economy, or do we just look at incinerating and trying to step it away? So there's a lot happening on multiple levels. And like anything, we've got to have that optimism. Because my biggest thing, we've taken this off the beach and that's gone now. You know, I think it's.
So we've just come back over to Josh's van here, and look at this. This is from various cleanups, plastics. Wow. And this is different Chisel Bay. So those are
that's down Southampton.
Down near Chisel.
Oh yeah, no, so it's
Chisel Bay, not Chisel Beach.
Yeah, you got the beach. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that, guys. All that plastic.
The beach, and that's gone now.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's the fact that you can physically see you've removed something that potentially a seagull's not going to get that bit of wire wrapped around its neck now, which is fantastic. So yeah, you can have an impact at so many different levels, which is great.
I think that's important for all of us. So, well, that's been a nice. I've enjoyed that today coming
Brilliant,
out.
Yeah.
The sun's gone in a little bit, so I'm going to head off into the ocean now for my next gassing on meeting. Like I did last week, I had to go abroad. I used a plane for that one. So, Josh, can you hold the camera? Just keep it there, because
keep it nice and steady.
I've got it. Don't worry, it'll look after itself. Guys, I'm off into the sea now. See you next time when we're gassing on somewhere abroad. Okay, have fun.